And the former Democratic governor of Washington, Jay Inslee, is here for more on all of that. Governor, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So you have long been a proponent of clean energy. So what's your reaction when you hear the president say that he wants to take oil from Iran and that, that would make him happy?
Well, our job should not be making Donald Trump happy. We should have a president who will make rational decisions to keep our energy costs low. And unfortunately, his decision-making is making our energy costs much, much more expensive. Look, gas has gone up to over $5 a gallon. It's gone up $1 a gallon in my state. The whole nation is suffering on this. But there's even a deeper effort on his behalf to keep us under the thumb of the oil and gas industry. Because he had this corrupt bargain at Mar-a-Lago where the oil and gas guys said, we'll give you $1 billion if you'll help us drive out our competitors, which is solar, wind, and batteries. And unfortunately, he's doing this now. So not only has he started a war, which is choking off supplies, which have driven prices up, but he's actually also trying to keep us addicted to coal and stopping Americans from getting cheaper sources of energy. We ought to have a president who helps us get cheaper sources of energy that also is cleaner, and that is solar, wind, and batteries. And look what he's done. The other day, it's pretty incredible. He paid a company $1 billion not to produce clean, cheap wind energy. That's just nuts under anybody's book. We deserve better.
You were on the Hill last week pushing for Congress to hold oil companies accountable for their impact on the environment. Now, oil companies have argued in the past that they shouldn't be penalized because the public depends on the product they produce and that they're already regulated under the Clean Air Act. So what's your response to that?
Well, there's 2 or 3 things that I think all Americans share. Number one, an American value that nobody is above the law. Nobody, no how. No corporation, no president should be above the law. And when the oil and gas industry said that somehow the law should apply to everybody else but not them, that is not something that's consistent with American values at all. Second, we deserve to have affordable energy. And this is a decision to try to put the costs onto the American people rather than to make the polluters responsible. And they're trying to remove the ability to have accountability for their misfeasance that has gone on for years, because you know what they've done? It's pretty basic. They simply have lied to the American people for decades now. For decades, they've known that their product is causing massive catastrophic injury to people across the country with asthma and climate change and fires and floods. Their own scientists for decades have told them that they're going to cause this catastrophic injury. And actually in their files, you'll see the word catastrophic. And yet, instead of being forthright with people, they went out with multi-million-dollar campaigns to try to fool, to deceive, to defraud Americans about this. So we deserve to have accountability. We deserve to have the democratic process of jury trials so that everybody is held to account. And we deserve to have more affordable energy, which is cleaner and also more secure. Look, I'm tired of being in wars over oil in the Mideast. And if we transition to cleaner energy that isn't oil-based, we're going to have a better security and safer America as well.
You ran for president in 2020, largely focused on this issue. Will you run again?
No, if I run for president, it will be for the Rotary Club of Bainbridge Island.
Okay. All right, we'll follow up on that. But polling shows that climate change doesn't rank as a top issue for most Americans right now. What do you make of that, and what do you think that means for how Democrats should tackle this issue going into the midterms?
Well, I think if you actually look at this, climate does poll at the top of people's concern. Because if you ask people, are you concerned about the price of energy right now? That's a top issue. And in fact, when you get people cheaper, cleaner, renewable energy, you're getting them cheaper energy.
But that's a different question than tackling the climate specifically or the environment specifically.
Right. But here's the situation. The solution is the same for both problem set. The solution to climate change is also a solution to get more affordable energy. The solution to climate change is also a solution about how to grow jobs and economic growth. The solution to climate change is also a solution to this national security threat that we've been under fighting wars over oil in the Midwest for many, many years. The solution to climate change is a solution to the health problems we have. We have an epidemic of asthma in our kids right now. And if you've ever seen a kid who can't breathe because of asthma, you ought to be saying we should do something about pollution. And so the solution to these problems are all have a common thread, which is they help us be healthier with less disease from pollution. They help us to be wealthier with cheaper sources of energy. And they help us to be safer till we don't have wars over oil. They happen to have the side benefit of not having the planet, burned down and have Los Angeles burned down and Cedar Woolley in my state get flooded all the time and have these horrendous hurricanes ravaging us. So this is a solution to multiple problems. Now here's the good news. We are making this transition very, very rapidly. 90% of all the new generating capacity last year in the United States was clean, renewable energy. Now, Trump's trying to slow that down because he's got this corrupt bargain with the fossil fuel industry. But it's moving forward because it's so cheap. It's the cheapest source of energy. He's trying to make it more expensive because of his cronies. That's unfortunate. So we got to keep this fight up.
And I'm out of time, but quickly, the fact that it is moving forward, even with the administration pulling away, does that mean these rebates, like electric car rebates, are those not necessary anymore?
No, there's still a place for these. We should always review these as time goes on. But there's still a place for this investment, particularly for research and development. And particularly it's important with the data centers coming on now. The proliferation of the data centers should not put the cost of that additional generating capacity on ratepayers. And when we generate electricity to serve them, it shouldn't be doing more pollution either.
I think we found something you and Donald Trump agree on, because he has said he's going to work on that. So
well,
a little bit of common ground
if he
here
actually
today.
did it rather than just talk about it, that'd be great.
Governor, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.